What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It's your boy Goblin, and today we're coming in with a hoot and a holler, a true banger of a video. Now listen, I want to truly apologize for not uploading for the past few weeks. I'm a lazy bastard. There's really nothing more to it. However, there's a lot of new content from my podcast that you guys should go watch on the Pine Park channel. So please go tune in. I'll have that linked in the comment section. But in today's video, we're talking about the time that I sold my neighbor's lawnmower for xans. Now, listen, this is a statute of limitation banger, okay? Sound the alarm. This is something that I've been sitting on for a while, and I've mentioned in a couple past videos, there's a few stories that I'm kind of waiting until they're legally viable to tell. This was one of them, because if you guys have been watching for a while, you may remember that I got arrested for something very similar to what I'm about to tell you, and it was actually the first time I got arrested. So I didn't really want to talk about this for a little while, but here we are today, and we're going to talk about it. So I hope you guys enjoy. Drop a like if you do. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and also tune into the Gobcast on the Pine Park channel. It drops every single week. And without further ado, let's dive right into it. Now, in today's video, we're talking about the time that I sold one of my good neighbor's lawnmowers. And this happened a very long time ago, back in my junior year of high school. I believe this was 2016, I want to say. Yeah, because I dropped out of high school later that year. So yes, this was 2016 and it was springtime. And as many of you have probably heard in my past videos, I had a friend who we're going to refer to as Ashley, who would drive me and my friends home from school all the time. At this point, I was going to an alternative school. I had been kicked out of my main high school because I was always up to no good. And today was no exception. Now, on this fateful day, I hadn't planned to steal anything. I was actually planning to be a good person. It was just really a kind of crime of opportunity moment. You see, I hitched a ride home from Ashley, and Ashley was the GOAT. Ashley drove me home all the time, never asked anything. Even sometimes she would take me and get food. She would buy us food, even if it was just me in the car, if it was me and the homie, she'd buy us food. No, Ashley was the GOAT, all right? But either way, she would drive us home from school pretty often. And on this day, it was just her and I in the car, and we're riding back towards my place, and she's about to drop me off, and as we're going through my neighborhood, it was just a beautiful day outside. And on the way back, we had kind of been chatting. She asked what I was doing later that night, and I was like, I don't know. I don't got any bread, so, I don't think I'm going to do shit, but, I don't have anything to smoke. I was down pretty bad on this particular day, I remember. So this was really, I think this was meant to happen. I truly do. Granted, I feel a little bit of guilt, but not very much, if I'm being completely honest. It was just a lawnmower. If I stole a car, I would have felt more guilt, but it was just a lawnmower. But either way, we're going through my neighborhood. She's about to drop me off. And this was far after I had already gotten arrested for a similar crime. You see, I had not gotten arrested, but I had gotten caught doing this. I had to return the shit. Long story, we're not going to dive into it, but I had gone into someone's garage, 3 people's garages, and stolen a bunch of shit, right? This was a similar situation. We're cruising home, and as we're on the way back, there's just this fucking fat-ass lawnmower sitting on the end of someone's lawn, completely unsupervised. I'm talking the garage wasn't even open on this house, absolutely unsupervised. And the neighborhood I lived in was a bunch of townhouses, so there was a lot of people around that could see, but, it was just unsupervised. Looking back at it, I don't think this lawnmower belonged to whoever lived in the crib. I think it might have belonged to a company or something, because this neighborhood, the entire neighborhood, my house included, the lawns were mowed by like a lawn care company. We had a HOA, so our lawns weren't mowed by us. We didn't have to do that shit. Damn, all right, I never thought about that. All right, well, either way, okay, I stained a company, so I feel a little less guilty now. So either way, there's this fat-ass lawnmower sitting at the end of the fucking driveway, and it was a beauty, dude. It was fat. It wasn't like one of the ones you drive or anything. I don't really know much about lawnmowers, so I don't know how to describe, the features here. I live in apartments. I lived in apartments or townhouses my whole life, so, I don't mow the goddamn lawn. I don't know what to say here, but it was a fine piece of machinery, I'll tell you what. It was a fine piece of machinery. And as we're cruising through my neighborhood, I say to Ashley, I'm like, yo, Like, what if we just took that lawnmower? And I was kind of joking around at first. And it was one of those really spontaneous things where, honestly, I think if I thought about it any longer and planned it, I definitely wouldn't have done it. But it was one of those things where, like, Ashley was definitely the kind of girl who was going to say yes to that. And I was the kind of guy who needed money to get high and would do nearly anything, just short of selling myself. So I was game, as soon as she was like, I was joking at first. She said bet. She was like, yeah, that would be kind of fun. I was like, all right, fucking turn around, let's stain a lawnmower. She was like, will you split the money with me? I'm like, absolutely, 100%. I didn't think any further than that. I didn't think of how we're getting money out of this lawnmower. I didn't think any further than just like, yo, lawnmower, we can get at least like $5, that'll buy me like half a gram and we're solid, we're vibing. So we had already passed the house and she hit a U-turn and she pulled right up. I'm talking like pulled up on the wrong side of the road, facing the wrong way, just absolutely clapped and popped her trunk. And I was like, damn, okay, she might be more committed to this than I am. Like Ashley's kind of game for this shit. So I jumped out and listen, nowadays, I could never do this. I don't know how I did this when I was younger. I think it was just the perpetual fiending in my brain whenever I was sober that made me not consider any consequence or feel any type of fear. I was just excited that this could potentially get me some money. So I jumped out of the car. She pops her trunk and I grabbed this lawnmower. And this motherfucker was kind of heavy. I'm not going to lie. This thing was a big motherfucker. So I pick it up. She jumped out and helped me. She could see, like, low-key, I was struggling a little bit. I'm not going to lie. This was a heavy lawnmower, okay? And I had to angle it a very weird way to get it in the trunk because she had a big car, bro. She drove this big-ass GMC. I don't know what the model was, but I remember it was a GMC, and it was big as shit. But even as big as this car was, we had to really angle it and, like, shove it in there, and we were taking a little bit of time. So I was starting to get worried. I was like, yo, just push it, like, fit it in however the fuck we gotta fit it. We scraped up the whole back of the whip, absolutely fucked up the panels in the trunk, scratching it, pushing this thing in, but we got in enough for the trunk door to close, and it was like, bet, fucking go time, we're out the jam. Jump back in the whip, we're out of here, right? Skirt the fuck off. Now at this point, I'm not getting dropped off at home anymore. We're just kind of driving, and I don't really say anything at first, just besides like, yo, good shit. I remember that's the only thing I said. I was just happy as fuck. I was like, yo, nice. And then I kind of came to myself and I thought a little bit and I was like, wait, like, what the fuck do we do with a lawnmower? Like, I have nothing better to be doing. I have no weed, no drugs waiting for me at home. I had no money. I was fiending. So this was my best bet. But, like, what the hell were we meant to do with this? So I kind of realized pretty quickly that our only shot and best bet here was going to be the pawn shop. And listen, none of us were old enough to go to the pawn shop. I only had one option, which was Cody's girlfriend. You see, Cody's girlfriend at the time was 18. She was a grade above us, so we were locked in, buddy. Hey, it's over with. This wasn't my first rodeo either, but I was trying to be a little smarter about this because, like I mentioned earlier, I had gotten arrested for a very similar crime to this one not that long from, when this happened. It was about a year and a half prior. So I was trying to be a little careful, and I was like, yo, I want to go to a pawn shop because I don't know where else we're going to get rid of this today, but, like, we shouldn't go to the one that we always go to because that's, like, not going to end well. So I hit up Cody. I explained the situation. I'm like, yo, bro, listen, I got a lawnmower I got to pawn. I don't know if I ever even told him over the phone that it was stolen. I just said, like, yeah, I got a lawnmower. And, surprisingly, I don't remember him having much to say about it. Like, he was just like, all right, yeah, come through. Yeah, all right, let's figure it out. So we whipped on over to Cody's house. And honestly, up until this point, I had no idea what kind of lawnmower we'd even grabbed. It just looked sizable, and I'd seen many, many lawnmowers and other gardening equipment at the pawn shop when I'd gone before. So I knew, like, they're gonna buy this, I think. Like, they might fuck us on the price, but what they don't know is we didn't pay for it. So checkmate, I'll take $5 if I have to. So I'm up on maps and I'm looking up pawn shops. And mind you, this was before the days of Marketplace. I don't think Facebook Marketplace was even a thing yet. I don't know. Someone fact check me, bro. Did Facebook? If so, I mean, we didn't know about that shit. We weren't using it. Either way, we were going to the pawn shop. That was just the best, easiest, immediate play. So I'm on maps and I'm looking for pawn shops, and I'm trying to look far away. Not too far where it's annoying as hell to drive there and back, but far enough where, like, it's not in the same town, I figure, I've watched enough crime shows and YouTube videos, even at that point, to know, like, yo, they hit the pawn shops when shit gets stolen. Like, go a little far away. So we ended up driving about 40 minutes away, and we drove a little bit south, and we drove down, I think it was past Joliet even. Like, that's how you know, hey, you're getting to somewhere where the pawn shops probably will just take your stolen shit, Past Joliet, hey, yeah, they know it's stolen. They prefer that, that they'll pay extra. If it's not stolen, they don't want to pay as much. They're like, nah, bro, fuck that, I want some flavor on this. I want a lure to my piece, So we're cruising down to this pawn shop, and it's a little iffy having 4 people in the whip because the lawnmower was in a position where the handle part of it was going, like, over the back seats, and it was very wide, and it was uncomfortable for Cody and his girl. It was an unfortunate scenario, but, we were on the move. I mean, we were on a mission, so we ride on over to this pawn shop, and Cody had actually brought a blunt, thank God, because I was sober as hell at this point with a stolen lawnmower in back. The least I needed was some mid. Please, just throw that in the mix. So, we head on over to the fucking pawn shop. We get there. I pull out this goddamn lawnmower, and it doesn't fit through the door. I try to just wheel it in. I try to push it in normally. It does not fit through the door. I'm like, fuck, dude, I pretty quickly figured it out. I just had to turn it on its side, push it through. But I was like, whatever I buy with this money better be fantastic. It better change my life. And honestly, it was. But either way, I wheel it into this pawn shop, and I push it in, and Cody's girl's with me, and I was only there to help. I stepped back. I actually went all the way back out to the whip. I didn't even want to be inside as she was selling this lawnmower, because I figured a bunch of high schoolers selling a lawnmower just didn't really look proper. And we hadn't discussed any sort of story about why we're selling a lawnmower. I was just hoping that she would figure it the fuck out, So I push this lawnmower in. I throw it to his girl. I walk back outside to the whip, and we're all just chilling in the car, finishing off this blunt, waiting to see what we get for the lawnmower. And I told her before she went in, I told Cody's girl, I was like, listen, don't, try to get as much as you can, but, just take whatever, it's money is money. If it's more than, $50, I'm happy. And she was like, bet. So she went in there. I don't know what kind of magic she worked, but she comes back out. We got $100 for this lawnmower. We got a crisp Benjamin. We got a clean, even $100. Not some bullshit. Not like, I'll give you $110. I'll give you $102.87. Nope. Clean Benji. Clean, crisp. Maybe she scalped a 20 off the top. I don't know. That's her service fee. I had my money and I was happy. Now, looking back at it, I honestly don't know how I never got in trouble for this, because the circumstances around this were even worse than the time I did get caught. We didn't take the license plate off the car or anything. This happened in broad fucking daylight. Honestly, I think our saving grace was that it was kind of early enough in the day where most people were still at work. It was like 2:30 or 3 o'clock when we did it. So, not a lot of people, not a lot of adults that were very attentive were at home. The unemployed motherfuckers aren't looking out their window, peeping to make sure their lawnmower is still there. They're inside fucking off, they don't care. So I get this $100 and listen, this could not have been a more perfect day. Everything just worked. Cody's brother had xans, which was not that common of a thing. It was like a rare item, like the Animal Crossing shop, So I was like, bet, I got $100. Now, Ashley wanted her cut, and she didn't really want to stick around. Like, she just wanted her money. So I told her, listen, drop me off at Cody's crib. I'll figure out the ride home. Fucking, we'll break the $100 bill there, and that'll be that, So we ride back to Cody's crib, go in the garage. His brother's out there. We got 100 bones. So I tell him, I'm like, yo, listen, give me $30 worth of Xans, give me like $50 worth of weed, and then give me a 20. And the 20 was Ashley's cut. Ashley didn't want to split it even. You see, she understood that she was just the driver. I was the real actor in that scenario. You know, I jumped out. I took that lawnmower. You know, so I only gave her $20. Looking back at it, she might have deserved 30. But it is what it is. I was fiending harder. So, I mean, you know, that's just the way it goes. She had drugs at home. She would always steal her grandma's pills. So, I mean, she had stuff waiting for her. Me, this was do or die for me. And luckily today, I did. We weren't going to die. We got the money. We got some Xans. And I got barred out of my fucking mind at Cody's house that night. I didn't spend the night, but I remember, holy fuck. I mean, honestly, I don't remember a ton because I ended up knocking the fuck out on his couch, which at this point in my life was a pretty common occurrence. I slept a lot on that couch, both the one in the garage, which was kind of crusty, and the one in the living room, which was less crusty. It was less crusty. They had a nice couch in the living room, but that garage one was crusty. And I don't remember which one I slumped out on, but I remember that pretty much immediately after copping these bars and buying this weed, we had rolled up a blunt, and I had popped, I don't know how fucking many, but I popped enough where I don't remember the exact quantity. And that's because of one of two reasons. Either A, this happened a really long time ago, and the barred out part wasn't very memorable to my brain, or B, because I took enough for me to forget. And if you guys have listened to enough of my videos, you know that that's a pretty high threshold. So I got barred the fuck out, and it was a wonderful evening. I slumped out. I got nothing done. There's not really much more to the evening besides, yo, I got barred, I slumped at Cody's house, and I went home after. Honestly, bro, how did I get home? Now that I think about it, did I do the Uber finesse? I think I probably just ended up doing the classic Uber finesse because I had no money. Like, literally no money. Guys, my average bank balance, my ending balance on my bank statements month after month at this point in my life was like $1.32. Like, it was brutal. If I had any money in my account, I'm talking anything over like $2, it was going towards something, bro. I'd fandangle my way to getting high with it. Like, $2 in the account, that's enough to offer someone to make chicken to tap the blunt, you know? That's enough. That'll do for me. So it was tough. It was tough. How the fuck did I get home, bro? I probably should have like thought about that before I got to the story, you know, before I sat down and told this. I kind of just, you know, I really thought through. I guess, you know what? I'll give you guys a look inside the process. You know, when I sit down and I'm about to tell a story, I really like think it through. I don't just sit down and yap. Because as I'm getting older, some of the things that I'm telling happened quite a while ago. So it's not like I can just sit down and belt it out in one go like I used to. So nowadays, you know, I kind of really sit down and I think about it. I'm like, okay, you know, is this how it played out? Is how I remember it correct? Like, is this right? You know? And I didn't really think beyond the lawnmower and the pawn shop. I don't know what happened the rest of that night. I got barred out and wandered home somehow. It was a great evening, though. We're way off top. We're going to end it here, bro. I'm high as shit. I smoked some fire before I recorded this, too. I feel good. Hey, thank you all for watching. Drop a like if you enjoyed. Tune into the new Gobcast episode. Many videos are coming soon. Hey, I'm very sorry for the delay. We're back at it, baby. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, all that shit. Linked in the description. See y'all in the next one. Deuces.